Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. And to everyone that celebrates, we're here. College baseball season has arrived, and it begins today. Now, Brad, it's always good to see you, my boy, but I'll let our guy Greg go first. Greg, long time California Wager. What's up, man? How we doing?
Yeah, happy 2026. Cheers to all those football fans. Hope it was an enjoyable Super Bowl, but this is our Super Bowl. So exciting to get started again. I've been wandering around in my area getting ready. Obviously things are changed here year two with ACC now for Stanford and Cal, and things are moving with the spectrum of West Coast baseball, and I expect big things again. Another big season ahead, and it's exciting. Crazy to think it's already going with the game kicked off in Puerto Rico, but it's going to be a fun year. It was a good one last year. 189 units for us, and is consistently across the board gaining value for you guys. Try to be on the show as much as we could, beating those Lions, and we'll get right back to it again this year. So thanks for having me, AB, and good to see you as well, Brad.
Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. Sight said, haven't caught a morning show in a while. What up, Cruz? Man, what is good, baby? So good to see you. It's so good to see everybody. I'll get to the comments, I promise. We got so many of them. Alaska Hunter, happy opening day to all. Hey, B, are you going to use that pick tracker Google Doc you have in the past? Ooh, all right, we need to get back to that. I like that. And also, look, he's big game hunting. We're big game hunting today. Yeah, good call on that. All right, Brad. It's great to see you. I wasn't going to leave you out. How we doing, bro? You doing all right?
Doing great, AB. It's also good to see our new friend Malibu Greg with the fresh chop back here for the new season. Love having Big Greg here. Excited to talk footy, big weekend in footy. So, yeah, and big weekend in baseball, new sport coming. It's always exciting in the air. Love being here.
Yeah, dude. It's great, man. My man Donnie said, Happy New Year, kids. It's officially baseball season, Donnie. Let's go, man. Big Seth said, happy opening day, AB and crew. Oh, glorious day. Yes, it is. I'll tell you what. It's good to see everybody. We're going to jump right into it because we have no time to waste on this. We don't even have headlines. Let's go. All right. Now, how we're going to do it is this, Brad. We're going to hit soccer first, and then we'll let you bounce out of here because we know you've got things you got to do today, and we're going to be all over baseball, so I don't want to get in your way. But we definitely need to get soccer taken care of, my boy. So what do we have here?
Oh, yeah. We got to play on Saturday. It's today. I didn't love anything pre-match with the line, so I'm going to be looking live, full disclosure. So I wanted to give you a great bet for this weekend's fixture in the Swiss Super League at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, Central Time, So it could be 12 p.m. if you're in the Eastern. But Zurich is playing Lucerne. Over 3 goals for that push with that minus 115, looking for that 4 goals. We've talked about these two teams. We've played these two teams on multiple occasions. Zurich trends 80% to that over 2.5 in their last 40 league matches, which is pretty insane of a hit rate. And then they go home. It goes up to 90% away. On the away end, Lucerne is also a top hit rate over 2.5 and 20 up to 24. So if you're looking at just the hit rates combined with one another, the home league between the over 2.5 and the over 3.5 is coming in at 68% for Zurich at home and for Lucerne at 73%. So we give this a 71% opportunity to cash. And that's not even just push on this minus 115. So we love this total for this weekend in the Swiss Super League at 11 a.m. Central Time.
Nice, dude. Louisiana. I like when Luzerne, Louisiana, all of them, they get going. Oh, man. I love it. All right. Now, Brad, I'll say, do we have any final thoughts, any leagues that we need to hit up? Like, I want to make sure we give you the space because obviously soccer is super important. So, yeah, what do we need to know about, man? Sorry to throw you in the fire like right out of the gate.
Hey, not a problem at all, AB. That's why we come prepared. But the board is speaking to a lot of people because it's got some matches today and throughout the weekend. But what is trending in the world of football? It is both teams to score in the second division of Germany. Right now, 20 of the last 24 have hit both teams to score, giving it an 83% hit rate. That is fantastic. 2 matches today. Looking live specifically, Nuremberg taking on Karlsruhe. So I'll be looking live for that bet split, and maybe you guys should too. AB, good to see you. Callie, Malibu's most wanted, good to see you as well. And crew, good to see y'all. Smash the Swiss Super League, and I'll catch you guys on Monday.
My man, Brad, it's so good to see you, buddy. We sure do appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Dude, thank you, man. See you, bro. Good to see you, man. All right, Big Wager, what's up, baby? All right, you ready to get going?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. All right, now, our man Bibbo gifted 5 DTL memberships. Bibbo, unbelievable thing. Thank you, man. Thank you. Welcome into the 5 new members to DTL. Cannot thank all of you enough. You all make this place is what it is, man. Jared said, sick or not, couldn't miss this show. Let's go. Jared, so hope you're doing better, buddy. Keep us updated. Anything that we could do, please let us know. We'll be at it for sure. Dude, hey, books are at it already. Greg's Cal State Fullerton moneyline bet is now. It moved to minus 166. Oh, all right, we're going to break it down. Aubie, a 1999 super sticker. Aubie, oh my goodness, says, I hope everyone has a great season. Aubie, thank you so much. You are the absolute best. Thank you, guys. All right, Big Greg, I'm going to get out of your way. You have 2 plays today. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll open it with this. College baseball is unlike, any other sport in terms of handicapping. It's taken me multiple years to even want to dive into it. Even knowing where to find the best lines, knowing where to get the info. It's like anything, but when you've got an angle, when you've got an opportunity, it's best to cash in on it and find the best way that you're able to do so. I feel like through the last couple of years, we've gotten a better angle. We've gotten a best way to find out how the number is going to work for us. And with us, it's been smaller parlays. Anyone who's jumped in with our VIP knows we've have a large number of lottos that we do for fun as well. And it should be a little bit of entertainment. Should be fun, should be profitable, but we should be doing it the right way. So let's get into it. Cal State Fullerton today. We are jumping on them on the run line. Also, if you can find some decent value, I like them on the money line. Going up opener today against Cal Baptist. Fullerton's been down the last few years, and I think that whole area has been affected with not only what NIL is starting to do now on a national spectrum, but the SEC and some of these bigger conferences have a lot of pull, and with that brings a lot of talent. Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach State, a bunch of teams in that area, I think are going to start to pick up and improve from what we have seen in the last few years. And we're going to start with Fullerton today. I like them on the money line. I like them on the run line. I think they will handle Cal Baptist.
Hey, real quick. You had them on the run line at minus 115, right? I might have messed that up. All right. Correct. So apologies there. Minus 1.5. Minus 115. I want to apologize on that one. All right, keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the numbers as well, our goal is always to go ahead and beat that opening line. College baseball is a small market. It's going to move quickly. I've got someone actually working on my numbers from last year to verify it, but I believe we were over 90% in terms of what our opener was versus value. So we beat the line over 9 out of 10 times last year. And I think that alone is, a pat on the back for putting in the hard work, but at the same time, closing line value means nothing if you're not winning. So great to feel good about yourself, but at the end of the day, it's about cashing tickets. Our second play today, East Carolina money line, North Carolina money line. We're taking that in a parlay together. ECU, I expect big things from them. Disappointing end of the season last year going down in the regionals. I expect them to improve, bounce back, and this team continues to put together talent. I like ECU on and off the field. This is definitely a program that I respect. Love their head coach. Love the way that they go about business. And it really is a family-style community with the Pirates program. So easy to root for them. And I think they're going to have a good season. We'll start off right, game 1 with them as well and expect them to dominate. We'll pair that with North Carolina. And we're going up against Indiana today. There will be no Fernando Mendoza available on the mound today. So I believe.
Come on. The Raiders won't mind.
Yeah, quite frankly, I wouldn't mind if Mendoza was on the hill today. I think it might work out well. But again, Carolina coming off what was a big surpriser last year. They pulled the upset in the Super Regionals. They great season, a great team. I expect more from them, and lose some of that pitching staff, but it's what you're going to get in college baseball. It's a big turnaround, and continuing to bring in that talent is going to be everything. I expect another good season from the Tar Heels, and I expect domination on both of these two today.
There we go, man. Nice work, buddy. Nice work. I love it. All right. And again, Cal State, Florida, that is on the run line. I apologize on that. -1.5, -115. All right. So here we go. Now, I put in number one. I might have put in a lot of plays. Look, the goal, let's get back. I'll go through the picks, but then let's get our mentality back. Because look, we had to go out. It's day one. It's opening day, right? I started yesterday with the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. I've added 2 new ones today now that we have totals. And we'll go through all these games. Now, UC Santa Barbara, Southern Miss, over 10. Yeah, over. Scary thought process here. Santa Barbara can pitch. Southern Miss can pitch. But you know what? Here's the deal. You're going to get starting pitchers today for about an inning or two. These guys aren't going 9 innings today. All right? Your aces aren't going long. It's still a tough ask because these totals are big. I've got all of them here. All right? There's some large totals, and be careful. Yeah, look. Rye said it. Hey, not a lot of February humidity, unfortunately. No, there's not. No, there's not. But I think we could get to 10. And I like getting it at an even number of 10. Not a 10.5. I mean, 9.5 would be great. But I'll take 10 because we have push insurance there. UAB in Florida, same deal. Greg, we're going to talk about this, but is Florida going to get it together this year?
You know, what's funny is I actually added Florida last night. I'll probably feed most of the preseason VIP stuff for everybody here, but we actually added Florida. I did it a couple weeks ago. My local had them at 50-1, and I thought that was way too high. So I jumped on it as soon as it came out. And then I saw last night as well on a couple of the other books, it was 30-35, I think I saw. But I mean, you could probably relate. I mean, is Florida a team you ever want to see in the playoffs?
No.
I mean, exactly. And they travel well. I feel like they play better on the road, honestly, when it comes to that. There's whatever this pressure is. It's like a Texas A&M thing that's going on with them.
There's something about playing at home, like which tells me that there's something wrong in the clubhouse.
Exactly. And there's pressure playing at home. There's a lot of side, issues too. You got to deal with your girlfriend and class and, the basic stuff. Whatever there may be going on is a lot different than when you get to get on the bus or plane and disappear for a few days. It's a little easy.
Hey, bro, there is nothing like a road trip when you need to get out of town. There's nothing better than a road trip when you just need to get out of town. Everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that Florida, I mean, as we saw, they get in the dance, and they're a team that you do not want to mess with. And I think that they're definitely under the radar. I mean, looking at, 5 years ago, if you were telling me that this is where Florida was, I'd be shocked to put it nicely.
Yeah.
So I think getting them at this value is big. And who's to say that they're not going to go out and have a dominating season? I mean, the talent is there year in and year out, just a matter of execution at a certain point.
Yeah, it really is, man. All right. So yeah, we'll talk about all this. Like Florida, I agree with Greg. I mean, they have all the talent in the world. They have everything. Like they have every resource. Playing baseball at the University of Florida is a privilege, dude. That is a pinnacle place to be. Look, all right, but that's longer term. Today, I do like it. All right, I like the over 12. I think UAB is going to put up some on Florida. I don't think they're afraid. I think UAB is coming right into this saying, all right, baby, let's go. We'll win one at your place. We don't mind. All right, Wake Forest money. Now, okay, so these two are new. If you didn't catch the show yesterday, the top 2 ones are new. Wake Forest money line, Western Kentucky money line, plus 130. North Carolina money line, Vanderbilt money line, plus 125. Florida money line, Southern Miss money line, minus 115. Arizona money line, UCLA money line, minus 105. And then Arkansas money line, Oregon State money line, minus 110. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now, okay. Let's reset ourselves real quick on a couple things from last year that we need to remember. Okay. Now, number one, I got all of my picks at DraftKings, and I have to give DraftKings credit. They came out with the picks early, a day early, doing a good job. It's not easy handicapping college baseball, so we have to give DraftKings credit. Okay. Got to give them some love. And I'm not putting down any other books by any means, right? But I want to give DraftKings some love. We've been through it together for a few years now, right? And it's like, all right, we've settled into this marriage and we're good to go. So I want to give DraftKings some love. They absolutely showed out. Number two, tracking college baseball can be very difficult. We use d1baseball.com scores, okay? Score box like on ESPN.com, and that's where we find them. If you have questions, ask in the chat, ask in the Discord, anywhere you can. Somebody will help you out. It can be frustrating for sure, but college baseball is a good time to ask questions because, trust me, we've all asked it. We've all been there. So d1baseball.com. Now, the last part, and then we'll get all through it. Save this guide right here, because not only with baseball do we have betting this fine game, but we need to be tracking weather, and it's coming. This is real. All right, I want to get everybody back in the mode of looking at weather. Windy.com. We have 91% humidity in Austin, Texas today, big boy. Uh-oh. All right, now we're not going to go through the weather big because it's February. But we have some wind. So if you're interested in weather, windy.com or anywhere else. But we'll get into that. It's too early to be doing weather. However, just wanted to get everybody back in the right mindset. What we have. How good is it to see that, dude? Talking about hitting home runs. All of it. Melanie said, good morning, Melanie Sue. Good morning, Mel's. It's so good to see you. The minister of culture here. Warren Nolan is a good one too, AB. Well, thank you, my boy. Okay, now we got weather, scores. Now, it's going to be tough to read some of this. You can see it. We'll pull it full screen for sure, okay? Now, one more thing. Let's get the banners here. Picks at the bottom. I even adjusted Greg's to the -1.5 on the run line. All right, now, again, give me a couple days to get the sizing, all that kind of stuff ready for the show, but we'll go through it right here. Let's dive right in. Houston and Wake Forest already happening. We have baseball happening right now. All right, we're going to go through all top 25 games and the lines and stuff that we have. All right, so Houston, Wake Forest already started. Washington, NC State. I'm going to read through these games, then we'll talk about them, Greg. Washington at 17th ranked. NC State, that's in Puerto Rico. Milwaukee at LSU, don't have a line on that. That's at LSU. Michigan State, Louisville, that's at Louisville. We have lines there. Wright State, Georgia, that's at Georgia. Vanderbilt and TCU. Okay, 23rd ranked Vanderbilt. TCU, 10th in the country. Arlington, Texas. So let's talk about it. Okay, first one here, Greg. I'll read through both games. Let me know if you have any thoughts here. NC State, Washington, that's in Puerto Rico. All right, NC State -2.5 on the run line. Total of 12.5. All right, Michigan State, Louisville -3.5 on the run line. Another total of 12.5. -425. And Melanie look, we're going to surprise her. It's my birthday today, my birthday in baseball. Great day. Melanie, unbelievable. Happy birthday to you. You absolutely deserve the best day that we have out here. Melanie, happy birthday. All right. For Mel's birthday, Greg. All right. Any thoughts on either of these two games right here?
Yeah, down on Washington this year. I think they're kind of the forgotten West Coast team. I've been disappointed with them. I tried to follow them last year for a while, tried to get interested in the Huskies program, and I feel like it's going to be another down year. Also got ties through college personally to NC State, so I'm always a bit driven towards them. I think it could be another solid year for the Wolfpack. Quietly, right back in the middle of things with some solid talent. Pitching will be an issue this year for them, I think, but we know the Wolfpack can always hit. I lean NC State in this one. I lean the over, quite frankly. Like you said, we're not going to get depth from any starters today. We are pre-conference. There will be young guys getting in the game. There will be a lot of different arms that we're trying to figure out. This is more of the time when you have a pretty good clue who your number one, number two are. This is when you're looking for who your number three is, who your backup guy is going to be, who your middle relief guys are, and who you can find that can be a shutdown guy. And whether they're throwing him in the second inning or the ninth inning, it doesn't necessarily mean as much right now. So I think that there is some definite volatility early in the year. Forget as well, some of these guys, it's the first time they've thrown in Division I as well. So should be interesting. In terms of that, though, I would lean the over. Michigan State, Louisville. I'm down on Michigan State like always. I think Louisville dominates this one. I have Louisville tied in with my lotto today. Obviously, big number, but you're going to get that in college baseball. There's ways to work around it. There's guys that see big numbers and think it's, a cheapskate way of playing or a bridge jumper accessibility. But I think that Louisville offers some value today. I think that they should punish Michigan State, quite frankly.
Yeah, I do too.
I will say, actually, real quick though, in terms of money line too, there's a big deal with college baseball because a lot of the books, depending on where you are, they will void your bet if 10 runs happen. So taking a team on the money line versus the run line is big sometimes because, yeah, you lost value or whatever you want to call it, but what does it mean when your bet's getting voided over and over on a 15-2 win? So knowing that sometimes tying these teams into a money line parlay is a better option because you can actually get paid is something to make sure you know which book is offering which thing.
You bring up an excellent point. Remember, all right, run rule is in effect in baseball in the regular season. That's a great point. If you're up by more than 10 runs after what, the seventh inning?
I think it's 12 after 5, 10 after 7, but I think they only conference time. I think it's 7, and it's 10 after that. But yeah, then most books, if not all of them, avoid that. So, hence, they know that college baseball is insanely volatile, and we know as much, if not more, than what all these books are. They have to attack and find every one of these games too. So it's not easy, but yeah, I mean, a good reason why knowing how to bet it is big because nothing more frustrating than your first time watching a team win by 10 and go back to see your account has been refunded.
Yep. That's a very real thing. All right. Wright State in Georgia. Vanderbilt, TCU. All right. Georgia, 4.5 run. I almost said points. 4.5 run favorite. Total of 13.5. We know what we're going to get out of Georgia. We're going to get runs, but look, you're going to get runs out of Wright State too. Now, I don't know how many you're going to get today, but Wright State is a team that can put it up. Vanderbilt, TCU. All right, this is a big one here. Now, TCU, the home team here. Vanderbilt, -1.5 on the road. Total of 10. Vanderbilt, -145 on the money line. All right, so real quick, Wright State and Georgia. Nothing big for me here. You know how we feel about Georgia. Good baseball team. They can absolutely mash. Yeah. So don't hate, them in runs, but I don't have anything on that game today. Vanderbilt and TCU. Got Vanderbilt here. You know what you're going to get. Vanderbilt, excellent pitching, station-to-station baseball, Tim Corbin baseball. TCU's built the same way. These are two excellent baseball teams. They're going to be in the conversation when we get down to it. Remember, Vanderbilt, the number 1 overall seed last year in the NCAA tournament, and got bounced. And that did not go over well in Nashville. Did not go over well, right? Now, not that anybody's coming at Tim Corbin. He's a legend, but trust me, it's coming from Tim Corbin himself saying, "This, fellas, we don't do this here. we don't do that." So I think you're going to get a very focused Vanderbilt team right out of the gate. I also think you're going to get the same with TCU. So I'm on Vanderbilt here. I've got them paired with North Carolina on the money line plus 125. Um, feel free to jump in if you have any thoughts about Georgia. But what do you think about Vanderbilt and TCU today?
Yeah, I mean, I would lean the over just purely off of what we talked about as well. Two solid teams, two good offenses. And like you said, a motivated Vanderbilt team, which, obviously they're going to be motivated. But at the same time, the way you finish a season, definitely has some definition of how it, continues into the next year. Same thing like we see with college football. There's definite teams that have that extra drive and that little bit that wants to kick them in the butt. So definitely think that Vanderbilt will come out fired up. I expect runs. To me, anything under 10 at this time of the year in college baseball is hard to bet the under with. Just like you said, there's so much volatility this time of the year, and we're not going to get guys that are going extended pitch counts. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but these games in the big scheme of things are not going to make or break a team. It'd be great for a team like Wright State to take one this weekend or whatever, but getting swept would not be the end of their year. Conference season is huge for these teams, and it's a long year. This is a season that you can go on to a one decent winning streak. They're going to go up and down over the course of these, but it's really about getting yourself ready for conference season and hopefully competing well for a conference title or a postseason title to get yourself into a regional. But yeah, I agree. I see a lot of people this year on TCU. I haven't dove in on them yet. I may not, but it's good for baseball to see a team like this back in the mix. In terms of the Georgia Wright State game today, obviously, I would go with nothing, way too big of a number. But Wright State can pitch, and Wright State is one of those teams that if you understand college baseball and if you're deep enough into it, you understand what kind of a threat that this Wright State team can be. I would look at them, as I probably will against some of these bigger programs later in the weekend, because they are a team that can hang with anybody, and they've got a solid pitching staff top to bottom.
Yep. Hey, and another great points right there. And another one, again, not only today, but this weekend and really the first month with starting pitchers, especially ace starting pitchers for really big programs, they're going to be on severe pitch counts. All right. You're going to see it today. You're going to see it tomorrow. You're going to see it Sunday. Remember, a lot of these are either the same two teams playing 3 times. Some of them have double headers today. Others are tournaments where it's going to, mix and match. But that said, though, yeah, Greg brings up a good point that, your starters are going to be on limited pitch counts, inning counts, etc. You're going to see a lot of young arms out there throughout the weekend. So fascinated. And we'll be here every single day, every single morning, breaking it all down. All right, let's keep going. Okay, next batch of games here. Indiana at 11th ranked North Carolina. 18th ranked Kentucky at UNC Greensboro. Bowling Green at number 5, Georgia Tech. Michigan at number 12, or Michigan against number 12, Oregon State. That's in Arizona. Army at Clemson. Fairfield at Coastal Carolina. Okay, so Indiana, North Carolina. North Carolina, I'm big on this team. They're minus 2.5 on the run line. Total of 12. Minus 280 on the money line here. And then Kentucky, UNC Greensboro. Kentucky, minus 2.5 on the run line. Total of 11.5. Minus 298 on the money line. So, Greg, Indiana, North Carolina, Kentucky, UNC Greensboro. Thoughts you have here?
Yeah, Tar Heels, like we talked about, we are on them today with ECU. We moneyline parlayed both of those together. And I actually had a question earlier. Something that I think about when I want to add another piece, I try to find a standalone game or some spot where if I'm going to get to that final one, it's going to have a good hedge value. I'm one who doesn't make parlays expecting to hit parlays. I make parlays expecting to get to the last leg and hedging to a point that is bringing consistent value. Tonight, for example, Hawaii, the late night game, the standalone game, and an opportunity where they're 2-1 favorites. And you get to that point, find yourself in a good position to either run line it on the other side for a middle or look at taking that money line. So finding standalone games, to me, for example, like Hawaii tonight, is a good spot for being able to extract value from basically two spots, being able to middle or hedge out. So something to think about in terms of that. With like I said, UNC, I am on with that parlay with ECU, and I do like Kentucky today. UNC Greensboro, we've got some serious history, but I think that
look, I wasn't gonna say that former player, but yeah.
I don't want to say it, but we also, it's funny with these two together because we did knock off Carolina when they were number one in the country at that time too, preseason. So it's funny to see these all banked together right now. But
y'all taking down Kentucky today? Are y'all taking down Kentucky today?
No, I'm not pleased with the offseason recruiting. The coaching, there's been some serious coaching changes at Greensboro over the last few years. Going from Gasky, who was the Team USA president and great, but wasn't helping with the recruiting overall. I think that's a program that, you're in the middle of everybody. It's like the basketball location. It's a good school. It's a commuter school, but you're fighting with all these big name programs, and you got to hope for local talent, and you got to hope for some serious good offshore recruiting. Let's just say if you can find something, but
offshore recruiting.
But yeah, I think the Wildcats handle business today. Up and down here for Greensboro as expected. I don't see too much coming from them.
Yeah, look, I'm with you on North Carolina. They had a big season last year. Didn't end great, didn't end terrible. Like, they're just a team that's ready to take that next step. And I'm with it on North Carolina. Kentucky, we saw them last year. They were one of the best teams in the country. We bet on them constantly, and then they fell off. Their pitching completely fell off at the end of last year, but they've got talent. There's no question about that. Michigan, Oregon State, 3.5 point, or three. I keep saying point. I'm used to basketball. 3.5 run favorites. Total over under 12.5 here. Minus 330 on the money line. Army, West Point. Why did I say West Point? Army and Clemson. Clemson minus 4.5 on the run line. Over under of 12. Minus 810 on the money line. So Clemson, unless you get down on the run line, a little difficult to bet today. Michigan, Oregon State. Yeah, I mean, I'm big on Oregon State this year. I think they handle Michigan. Any thoughts that you have here?
Yeah, I expect big things from Oregon State. Michigan, coming off a pretty good season last year. They had a real good start to the year, which definitely caught some eyes. But, yeah, I think Oregon State, just going to continue to plug along and do their independent thing and keep figuring out what's going to happen with the next conference. But the joy, like we said last year, is that, Oregon State's really able to pick their own poison how they want, schedule the way they want to do it, work themselves into basically an entire, prerequisite for getting into the College World Series or, at the very least a regional. Being able to host the regional, host the super regional is massive. Corvallis is such a home field advantage, especially coming from the East Coast, especially if you're a Southern team that isn't used to Oregon weather, let's just say. Things are a little bit different up there. Great program. Pitching should be back, and we know what they can do offensively. So I expect another solid season for the Beavers. Clemson, credit to Army. Army played great again last year, played well. A solid offense. They got themselves into the regionals again. But, it's a tough program. I mean, you see with the football team, it's hard to recruit talent. Baseball is a different breed, but those boys are there for a bigger situation. And you got to respect them being able to do so much and put their bodies through so much like that. But, Clemson, the better team. Clemson, the much more talented program. 4.5 runs is way too much to me. I'm another person who, when we talk about, games ending in 10-run rule, 3.5 is generally as high as I like to get. 4.5, 5.5, it's too big of a number. And if I'm getting there, I'm generally looking at an over because there's more value and you've actually got a chance to cash it. 4.5, 5.5 quickly gets to that 10-run rule. Anybody who watches college baseball knows how things can get out of hand very quickly. So kind of my rule of thumb with it is trying not to leap over that 4.5. But I wouldn't be surprised. Clemson gets that 12 on their own today.
Yeah, I'm big on Clemson this year. I think Clemson's going to be the real deal. And you brought up good points in regards to playing a run line, playing a total. you can get caught in the void there in the middle. Oregon State, they're going to be a good program, but we say the same thing about them every year. Is it going to pick up, or is it going to, are they going to be able to stay at that pace really all season? Because they start every season well. Watch, Oregon State will be one of those teams that starts 16-0. You know what I mean? Like just pitching's dominant, and then it just kind of goes, which most teams do. That's called attrition in a season, right? It's just difficult. But yeah, the big question is going to be, do they have the run support? And they're ready to go at the end of the year. I think Clemson might be one of those teams. We're going to see it this weekend. All right. Nichols at Tennessee. This is in Knoxville. Do not have lines on this one. I would expect Tennessee to put up a ton of runs. Although Nichols is not bad, but I would expect Tennessee. A lot of change there. UC Santa Barbara at number 20, Southern Miss. This is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Hofstra, Mississippi State, don't have a line on that. That's at the Dude. In Starkville, Mississippi, James Madison at Florida State. It's in Tallahassee. UAB in Florida. That's in Gainesville. Tennessee Tech, Texas A&M. That is in College Station. Now, real quick, a couple important things. Let me hit here in the chat. First off, Brandon said, I'm new here. What's up, crew? Brandon, what is up, baby? So good to see you, man. So good to see you, and glad that you said hello. Crew, absolutely welcome Brandon in with love, as you already have. Tizzle, Oregon State plus 400 to make it to Omaha, my favorite preseason wager. There we go. I'm flipping tomorrow on today's winner of Santa Barbara and Southern Miss. Z-Money, yep, I feel you on that one. There's going to be a lot of flip-flopping, a lot of back and forth this weekend. Tizzle, Kansas over 6.5 team total, minus 115, and Ole Miss over 8.5 team total, minus 110. I think both get to double digits. Good look there. Hey, trick shot. Tim, good to see you, man. ECU, Xavier, and North Carolina, Indiana play double headers on Saturday due to rain coming Sunday. Great freaking look. And if anybody has any updates, info like that, yeah, please drop that in. No doubt. Rise said Tennessee probably put up 17 today on their own. Probably so. I think they will. All right, so start with these two games, okay? And anybody looking for the picks, you can see them right here at the bottom. All right, we've got UC Santa Barbara taking on Southern Miss. Southern Miss, top 25 team. UC Santa Barbara, kind of right there, right? Like they're right on the line of it. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the day. Southern Miss minus 1.5 on the run line. Over under of 10. We're on the over in this game. Southern Miss minus 175 on the money line. Look, Melanie said, welcome, Brandon. And again, Melanie, happy birthday. Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday, Melanie. You deserve the best day ever. All right. UAB in Florida. Florida, 4.5 on the run line. Over under of 12. We're on both of these overs here. I'm also on Southern Miss on the money line. Florida minus 500. All right, so we talked about Florida, so no need to go twice into that. What do you think about this UC Santa Barbara Southern Miss? Again, I think elite pitching. Yeah, as Tizzle says, elite pitching matchup here. Yeah, it's going to be one of the best games of the day, one of the best series. What do you got?
Yeah, I've taken a stab this year a couple ways with Santa Barbara. They're not, I guess, they're not my Cinderella like we've had the last couple of years, but they are a team that I see having value long term, especially if they're able to make a push. Couple futures we'll give out right now for everybody that that clients got a couple weeks ago. We took UCSB to win the Big West at plus 240. I think they have one of, if not the best pitching staffs in the country. It's going to be difficult playing in the Big West with a lackluster offense, but I think it's also fortunate that they have good returning talent on the hill, got one of the better starting staffs, like I mentioned. And I think overall, with how they're able to balance this schedule, if they do it correctly, they can stay healthy, get themselves into what should be a decent regional if they have a strong year. I'll back that up as well. Biggest number of the year, we took UCSB to win the College World Series at 250 to 1.
I'm sorry, say that you took the Gauchos to win it all?
I took the Gauchos at 250 to 1. The only reason I took the Gauchos at 250 to 1 is because I figure 7 other teams of hedge point would be worthwhile against this UCSB team if they somehow did get to Omaha, as well as if they make a super regional, I will be fading the living hell out of them. But I do think, like I said, their schedule is going to be pretty realistic. I like what they're doing to go across like this and play a Southern Miss team. I don't necessarily expect them to do great this weekend, but that has no difference to me. I'm worried about conference schedule. I'm worried about how they're going to play the second half of the year. I think playing a team like this is going to benefit them. Um, Again, like we talked about with their pitching staff, should be solid today. Might not even be an indicator of that. They're going to try to get lots of guys innings, and more work's being done off the field still at this time of the year, off of the game time pitching staff. So I wouldn't be surprised if Santa Barbara gets stronger as the year goes on, and pitching wins championships. And I'm not holding my hat for the Gauchos, but at the same time, I think that there's some pretty decent value. And at 250 to 1, I'll take a shot.
There we go. All right. Hey, are you checking in on this game going on right now?
No, I saw it was 4-0.
Yeah, 5-0. Houston put it on Wake already.
Could we crown them the champions already? Is that it?
Houston Brandon said, man, yeah, I know.
5-0 for us. Here we go, Wake. All right. Well, they don't play well offshore.
Let's keep going. Youngstown State at number 9, Auburn. Lehigh at Miami, Alex Rodriguez Park. They have UC Davis at Texas. UC San Diego at number 1, UCLA. Arkansas and Oklahoma State, that is in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field, the Rangers. And Stanford and Arizona, live from Surprise, Arizona. So, UC San Diego, UCLA. UCLA minus 4.5 on the run line, over under 12.5. Arkansas, Oklahoma State. Again, this is from Arlington, Texas. Arkansas minus 2.5 on the run line, total over under 11.5. Anything you like on these two games?
In terms of today, no. In terms of long term, yes. UCLA I have big aspirations for. Big shocker, but I do think that they returned so much talent, and the experience they got last year is going to be huge for them. I also think they benefit playing in a conference that isn't as strong as what the Pac-12 used to be. So I think that there's definite benefit for UCLA this year in a couple different ways. So I do like them overall in the year. And then in terms of the Arkansas game, Arkansas is one of those teams I just cannot figure out. So much talent. Endless, they've got everything that you would want out of a baseball team that you put together to build one, and they just seem to fall in the big moments. I wonder what's going to happen with them. A team again that, like we mentioned earlier with Vandy, I think that they are also going to be a very motivated program. I think that there's always going to be high aspirations for the Razorbacks, but I think there's a little bit added pressure this year as well after how things ended. They expect to be, in Omaha every year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get back. So I do think that you're going to get a pretty motivated Arkansas team this year.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to get it. Now, all right, with Arkansas, I mean, it's the same question we ask every year: is this the year? Because they have everything: elite pitching, elite hitting, arguably the best coaching staff in the country, you could say. All right, and with Dave Van Horn, their manager, Tony Vitello's gone. His biggest rival at Tennessee, he's with the San Francisco Giants now. So, not that, Tennessee was standing in his way. Arkansas, was a much better team last year. But the question is Arkansas going to get it done? Because they're there and they have every single thing they need to do it. Don't sleep on Oklahoma State. Today, they're not a bad baseball team. The fact that Arkansas is 2.5 on the run line goes to show you that, because, man, we don't get that a whole lot. They're going to be a lot larger. AB college baseball. Hey, bread and butter, man. Let's go. I'm so glad that this season's here. All right, Stanford and Arizona.
Disappointed already with Stanford. I would love to see it. You'd hope that there was some motivation. It's Mark Marquez just passed away about 2 weeks ago. The longtime legend head coach from Stanford that I grew up going to and met millions of times, and really respected and made that program what they are. but it's tough. I think Stanford moving to the ACC is going to be a difficult move. It obviously was last year. There's tons of travel, especially being a team as far away as you can be from almost everyone else in the ACC. But excuses are are worthless, and everybody's got one. Let's just say so. I think that two teams going in different directions. I've got high aspirations for Arizona this year. I actually took them to win the Big 12 this year, 4.5 to 1. Think that they have some serious talent. And as I've seen as well with Tizzle, I was about to say, pitching is good. Something that's hampered them in the past. Obviously, we know the team can hit. Warm weather team, you're going to play outside. Ball's going to carry well. Reason why we play spring training in such a beautiful place like that. And I expect that to carry over. If they're able to pitch and get some decent starts from their Friday night, Saturday night guys, we know that offense can carry them through series. So I expect Arizona to play well again this year, and I think that they've got a chance in the postseason. Stanford on the other side, though, I got issues. I got concerns. I don't have faith in that team. Big pitching issues, and the lineup was so skewed last year. They changed it up so many times, and they could score, but they could not get anybody out. They were getting pummeled weekly. There was great value in betting against them, and I might do it again. So don't tell anybody.
Dude, betting their overs was fantastic last year.
Yep.
It really for both teams. Arizona has elite pitching. We're going to find out about their hitters. They put up a ton of runs in the first half of last season. I like this team. I like Arizona athletics as a whole.
Yeah.
Like all of it, man. Football program, basketball.
Yeah, they're making a comeback big time. I mean, basketball team kind of leading the charge with that right now. But yeah, it's nice to see that Arizona athletics back in. It's what we grew up on.
Bro, I was just about to say, like, I remember as a kid, like if you had the Arizona shorts, the Arizona basketball shorts.
I'm wearing them right now.
Please tell me you're wearing them.
I'm still wearing them. Good old East Bay.
You remember East Bay? Oh,
yep.
The magazine.
Yep.
East Bay was the best, dude. Oh my goodness. If you had the Arizona shorts, the Miami Dolphins starter jacket, Mel's has one, by the way. Yeah, I saw that picture on Instagram. It's so good. The Dolphins starter jacket, the Arizona shorts. I could keep going, man.
Yep, I still have my Rip Hamilton Yukon jersey and my Miles Simon Arizona jersey.
I love it. I love it, man. All right, so Arizona there, big on them. We usually fade Stanford, but yeah, we're gonna see. All right, Zach Felt. All right, there we go. So, hey, that's what we have. Okay, let me get the picks back up here. Let me pull the banner off. Now, again, Greg, I made an error on your screen right here. It's Cal State Fullerton -1.5, not the money line. I apologize there. Rookie mistake by me. But yeah, read through it. What do you got?
Yeah, Fullerton today, going later this evening against Cal Baptist. We like them on the run line. If you can find value on the money line, it's starting to disappear, but do think that they handle business tonight against Cal Bap. And then money line parlay going with the Carolinas today. East Carolina money line with the UNC Tar Heels money line. Straight up, we'll just get started on day one and roll through and get ourselves moving into a new season.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you tempered yourself. Well done. I didn't do as well. So a little fired up. So feel free to temper yourself with some of the picks. Here we go. I'm jumping right in. UC Santa Barbara, Southern Miss over 10, -115. UAB, Florida over 12, -115. Wake Forest, got to pick it up, boys. Let's go. Let's get them bats going. Money line, Western Kentucky, money line +130. North Carolina, money line, Vanderbilt, money line +125. Florida, money line, Southern Miss, money line, -115. Arizona, money line, UCLA, money line, -105. Arkansas, money line, Oregon State, money line, -110. There we go. All right. We will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern today, 2 p.m. Central. Plenty more college baseball to talk about. We'll also talk about college basketball, the NBA, what we have there, obviously NBA All-Star Weekend there. Aubie said, did y'all have a lean on Texas Tech, Oklahoma? I I didn't have a play on it. I do believe in Texas. Not that I don't believe in Oklahoma. Texas Tech is going to be a very good program this year. Any thoughts you have here, Greg?
Yeah, I think so too. It was a game that, had it been later in the year, I'd probably look at leaning the under with both of these teams, the way that they're able to play. But first game like this coming out the bat, you're not sure what you're going to get. You're not sure what lineup wise you're going to get. And starting lineups aren't necessarily what's going to be there in the 5th or 6th inning. So hard with this time of the season with it. But two teams that I expect to play well this year. I expect, the talent is there for both of them. Texas Tech, I think, is still a team that's a little bit off the radar. So I think that they have a chance with some value this year to surprise some teams.
Yeah, they could put in some runs this weekend, man.
Yeah,
they really could. Yeah, and Oklahoma, it's always it always begins and ends with pitching with them, right? God, they're tough because they're like Kentucky. Kentucky could show up in a weekend and smoke you 3-0, 3-1, 2-0. Oklahoma can do that same thing. But early, I'm with you. I think I'm leaning big Texas Tech. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have? Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got the picks. Yeah. Final thought. Yeah. Sorry. Any final thoughts you had? Did we just do this? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What did I just ask you? Yeah. Sorry.
No, I would just say, we've seen right now, don't overextend. Don't overextend yourself. We've seen it with Thanksgiving football. We've seen it with all these different kind of standalone days. But it's a long season. It's day one. It's game one, and there's tons of value throughout this entire year that is available. Just have to be willing to put in the work and find it. And I expect nothing but success again this year for us. Obviously, it's going to be ups and downs. That's why we do it. If it was so easy, everybody would. But understanding what your bankroll is, understanding unit value management, it's really the key to it. It'll make it so much more fun than having to press on every game. Trusting the numbers and doing this the right way every day is fun, especially when you start seeing the results.
Yeah, no doubt. What I'm fascinated to see with today, all weekend, obviously, but today is what do these run totals look like? Because the books are giving us pretty high totals, all things considered. Like you're seeing it's February 13th, it's cold outside, and you're seeing 12.5s across the board off rip, but you're seeing 13.5s, 14.5s. I didn't see any 15.5s yet, but that they're going to get out there. So I'm fascinated to see what it looks like. Keeping an eye on starting pitching today in regards to how long that these guys go. And remember, you can't burn all your arms today because you got to play 3 games this weekend. Like they're, and you're a former pitcher yourself, Greg, like there is a lot of strategy that's going to go in and a lot of strategy that's going to change. You could plan out what you think is going to happen tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and then you're like, oh, we had to use 8 pitchers last night. Not good.
Yeah. Every strategy is great until you get punched in the face, right?
Yeah. I love it, though. Let me say, yeah, Tizzle said Sunday we'll have some 15.5s. Yeah, and that's where my brain is that there's so many fundamentals in regards to betting college baseball that I know that we're not talking about that we need to. But that's another thing to remember. The 12.5 totals that you see today are going to be 13 and 14.5s tomorrow, and they're going to be 15.5s on Sunday. So keep an eye on like average runs scored per game. Not that anybody's going to sit here and average that for every game that's played, but just keep an eye on it. Man, because the tough part that I found myself in is, do I go money line parlays or do I go with the totals? You know what I mean? And I went pretty heavy on the money line parlays. We'll see. But yeah, keep an eye because it's all about winning the weekend. And what do we mean by that is generally when we go into it, we've got 3 to 5 plays on Friday, and then we adjust from there and just finish the weekend. As you play it in college baseball, you play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We bet Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You go 2-1, you won the weekend. 3-0, won the weekend, right? So that's what we're trying to do. All right. Yeah. All right. Greg, great show, man. It's so good to see you. Everybody, it's so good to see you. I'll jump out of here. Yeah. Aubie said, also, AB, the Discord is a huge benefit to this college baseball season. Everyone check out the DTL Discord. Yes. Absolutely. Right below Greg, you'll see that QR code. It's completely free. Newsletter. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Newsletter, completely free. All that. Sign up for it. Scan that code. Let's go. Greg, great job, man. It's good to see you.
Great to be back. Long year ahead. It was a much needed couple months of breaking. We were diving in late every single day, and happy to be back. I feel refreshed and more than ready to get going.
You look refreshed. You look good, my boy. Brought the good energy. Brad looked good today. Crew looked good today. Dude, holidays here, man. I'm excited for it. Seth, great show, AB, Greg, and Brad. Thank you guys so much for all y'all do for the crew. Thank you, Seth, and thank everybody for real. Crew, much love. All right, we'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern today to get it all going. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Friday. We live then. Until then, let's go Wake. Pick it up. We'll see you this afternoon. Peace.
Who's got it better than us?